Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
Welcome back. It's 17 till. I'm Jim Blasingame. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Please check out my website, smallbusinessadvocate.com. Lots of stuff there that will help you with your small business, whatever you got going on, wherever you are on the time continuum of small business ownership, whatever is happening, whether it's a challenge or an opportunity, you're excited about it or you're frightened about it, we got something you can read or listen to or watch there on our website, smallbusinessadvocate.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our free newsletter. Don't forget to take the poll question right there on the homepage. Tim Berry's our guest. He's our good friend, longtime original founding member of our Brain Trust, the author of the two most important books on business planning on the planet, and the guy who's taught more people how to do business planning than anybody else in the world. Tim, thanks again for hanging out with us. We're talking about incorporating a social media strategy into your business plan. Now, Tim, you in the earlier segment, you talked about focusing on fundamentals, bringing it in as a fundamental. Talk to us about that now.
Well, thanks, Jim. Let's think of business planning in its real, true fundamentals form is about goals to steps to tracking, right? You start with what you really want, your long-term goals, and the functions of business planning are thinking through how you take your progress towards goals and set it into meaningful short steps that you can execute and that you can actually track and follow up on. Does that sound like the basic fundamentals of business planning?
Sounds pretty fundamental to me.
And then I'd say within that, let's talk first about, so what are the goals of the business participation in social media? And I mean, you and I can talk about this because we both do it a lot every day, but I see at least three, and you can add to that. I see at least the goal is engaging in a large discussion. It's connecting with specific target, high-important target market people, and that's number two. And number three is watching what's being said about your business so that you can react to it. Does that sound like that's good?
It sounds like what you're saying is build or join communities, participate in those communities, and track what people are saying.
Yes, there's a defensive function there, which is if people are saying something that negative about my business, I want to know it. There's a offensive function. It's like, the famous marketing funnel, but you're feeding the funnel up at the top in terms of by participating in the conversation. You are, if it's done right, getting people to know, like, and trust you, which is getting them in the top of the marketing funnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right. I see the other one that I kind of, for very real practical terms, social media gives us a chance to connect to the people with the megaphones. When I say the high-powered, the opinion leaders, the blogs that matter, the bloggers that matter, the business writers, the survey people, the trade associations. There's not just connecting with everybody. There's also connecting with people who are like gatekeepers. And then there's the defensive function of watching yourself.
The ad people, the marketing and advertising people who have made the conversion to social media call that shared media. Meaning, and I say shared media, meaning if you have a story, if you have some piece of content that somebody likes and they want other people to know about it, they share it with their friends. And shared media, I'm calling shared media a new class of referral, a new class of qualified prospect.
That's interesting. I think that's very close to what I call amplified word of mouth in a way.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's just another way of saying it. But the shared media part is where, people just they want to tell their friends about what you're doing. And you and I came up in the old days, Tim, where a referral meant one person told somebody else about you. With shared media or with amplified word of mouth, as you say, one person tells, as you said earlier, 5 or 500 or 1,000 or a million.
Well, and let me just tell a quick story that I've watched over the last few months since March about, aside from what we're all thinking of social media, there is this connecting to opinion leaders function. So I've been watching somebody very close to me, it's my eldest daughter, doing a social media function for a New York startup that's involved with travel. It's something called Casa Hop. That's a kind of a home exchange thing. Mm-hmm. And so I've just been watching as she part-time is working social media for this startup that has to do with travel. And to make the story short, the opinion leaders function is one of the things she's been able to do for that company in social media is she's had access to people who write travel blogs and columns in newspapers by simply following them on Twitter mostly and engaging with them. Have you seen such and such in a way that's respectful, not spammy, often asking about destination.
That's part of contributing to the community, not manipulating the community.
And it has business results.
Right. And folks, this is part of the marketing component of your business plan. You're expanding the marketing component of your business plan. That's what Tim's talking about. We're going to talk about this some more. bplans.com is one website of his. timberry.com is another one. Check it out. Quick break. Stay with me. We'll be right back.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved.